The month of November in the year 1971 is significant in the context of liberation war of Bangladesh because it was closer to the termination of the war. Political turmoil was at the peak as well as military struggle between two parties was heaving to a great extent. The international actors also got engaged in bilateral and multilateral talks on the crisis issue. The flow of events throughout this month depicts a very important stage of the conflict, which later led to victory of Bangladesh and defeat of West Pakistan. The major aspects of November includes political actions and strategies, diplomatic actions and strategies, military actions and strategies, as well as actions of international actors and roles of international actors. Political leaders of West Pakistan were not any mood of compromise. The devastation caused from war was barely their concern. Rather, Yahya Khan Bhutto and other political leaders such as Nurul Amin, they wanted they were more concerned about Indian support on East Pakistani side. As they already had trouble with Kashmir issue, it was rather big decision to engage with India over East Pakistan. Still, they threatened India that a war would be inevitable if they kept assisting East Pakistani leaders and Mukti Bahini. The West Pakistan leaders also seemed to realize situation getting out of hand as they declared curfew and emergency. Their Rajakar counterparts also threatened to carry out struggle against India and declared jihad against India. On the other hand, East Pakistani or the Bangladeshi leaders seemed to be determined in achieving their goals. West Pakistani side attempted to gain foreign support from countries like USA, USSR, China. Basically, China was their concern. They urged China to help militarily as well as claimed that China would respond if India and Pakistan engaged in an attack. Such proclamation from West Pakistan leaders came as China had a bitterly relationship with India. The Rajakars also tried to gain support from Europe and Middle Eastern countries. Pakistani leaders also urged USS and USSR to look into the issue as those two were major world superpowers and their intervention might have brought some change in the conflicting situation. As the West Pakistani leaders thought, uh, the Mukti Bahini's offensive increased in both geographic and temporal scope throughout November. While unable to challenge the Pakistani army in urban areas, the Mukti Bahini were able to carry out hit and run tactics and sabotages both in the border regions and interior, resulting in significant achievements. Large-scale sabotage activities were beginning to disrupt occupation of government's administrative control in the country. From borders, more ambitious operations are undertaken, such as raids on isolated detachments of Pakistani troops, ambushes to Pakistani patrols. In some districts of Dhaka, Kumilla, Noakhali, Faridpur, Bakerganj, Mukti Bahini attacked both Pakistani and Rajakar forces. In response, Pakistani forces and their Rajakar counterparts also intensified their campaign. They became tougher in dealing with common people and started to use armored vehicles and aircrafts in resisting the advancement of Mukti Bahini. India's interest in the region was very prominent. India, as have successfully weakened Pakistani hold over Kashmir, wanted to weaken Pakistan more through cessation of East Pakistan. India not only supported Bangladesh in terms of political and military sanctuary, but also did try to gather humanitarian support from European Union in this month. While Indira Gandhi repeatedly refused that India wanted any war with Pakistan, she kept pressuring Pakistan to release Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, as it was evident that releasing him and his returning to Bangladesh would accelerate achieving the goals of East Pakistani leaders. US and USSR kept their role to a minimized level. China provided the Pakistanis with arms but adopted a non-intervention policy and repeatedly reminded Pakistan of its support on a diplomatic grounds. China became unwilling to commit themselves to anything that might risk the Russian retaliation under the Indo-Soviet Treaty. Also, China wanted a normalized relationship with India. Thus, the year of 1971 was itself very eventful in the history of Bangladesh and Pakistan, and the month of November depicts the entire scenario of the whole year as well as the war itself. Thank you.